Hey guys, Dark Prometheus here with our Week 8 news after today watching the Bears beat the Chiefs by 1. So, it is a good day today. So, in this section, we're going to look at possibly, with it being halfway through the season, looking at some possible upgrades we can make for the future. I mean, we were looking at some tackles. We do have a rookie center, Hornus Grisau. So I really wouldn't want to bring in another center. Not at least a rookie. So, I mean, I'd want the center to be someone that is a free agent more than likely. And that brings us to corner. We need to look at a lot of corners. So I really like this guy, Brian Hunt from Tennessee. He's a base 3-4. He's supposed to be a first round talent. The thing is, they say his coverage isn't all that great. Do like him because he's 6'2". That's the biggest thing. So he might be something I put a third pick on. So for Michigan State, Justin Marshall. He's 5'10", more of a slot guy, and realistically, we know Fuller is going to be one of our corners for the future. We're building around. We may end up having Tracy Porter and Sherrick McManus and Mitchell. I mean, we need to add some corners that can make some plays, but we don't see a lot of height or people that can go up and attack the ball. Especially this one, 7th round pick, and projected to be a 2nd rounder. Mac Lynch, Jordan Blake here. We're going down. I was really just looking at 3-4 corners that were at least 6. I mean, he isn't even all that great. 6th round pick. I'd spend a 6th round pick on him. That's about it with those stats. And really, we don't see any 3-4 corners that really are that big. We did see Will Robinson, who they say he's 6 foot, 219. We'd have to see his speed in the combine and really see if we can transfer him over to a corner position. But I mean, there's not a lot of safeties that would fit straight in our scheme. I really wouldn't want to spend a 1st round pick on a safety. Strong safety. There's not a lot of picks here in the first 4 rounds. When you go into Connor Hurst, he looks intriguing. 202, 6 foot safety out of Georgia. He's a 3-4. He's got some good hit power. He's got some good catching and pursuit. Something we can build around. Or this Mountain Valley State. He's a prototype 3-4, mid-5th rounder, projected 6'1". Good hit power, got some zone and some tackle. He could be someone that we can look at. I mean, we're really looking at safety, and these two will definitely be our safety picks. But actually, let's look at Demetrius Roberts. 6 foot, a little bit on the light side at 195. Delaware State. He's a playmaker. He's got good catching, good hit power, and pursuit. So yeah, he is a 6th round. He might be someone that moved with that weight being at a 195. And we move down. Let's see if we got any stories so far. Right now, I haven't checked it in a bit before we look at some things going on here. So, draft stories, surrounded by 3 defenders. Joshua Bailey plucked the ball out of the hell to help UCLA win their game this week. Not seen that. So, Joshua Bailey, well, take a look at him. And then teams are finding it hard to run the ball against Pitt right now, and a large part thanks to B.J. Harper's recent level of play. So I think I have my linebackers sorted, but I will take a look at that. Really like my linebacker position. All right, Joshua Bailey's another first round guy. We'll look at him. UCLA route runner, spread, B catching, B release, B catching traffic. So yeah, he fits a good mold out there for a guy. I'll just select him just in case. And really, let's see. Oh, we already have B.J. Harper looked at, so that's probably a story I've already seen. And yeah, the guy's going to be a beast. I'm not being a first round pick on that, though. I mean, I like the run stopping ability we're getting right now from our two linebackers. What I could benefit from is possibly bringing in, let's see, another rookie defensive tackle. No, not really. An end. Really look at bringing in an end here. 6'5", 34th, attacking 4'3". Hybrid defense. He's 6'4", 290. Looks like this guy can plug some holes. Philip Gordon from Penn. He is a run stopper. So tackle's good, pursuit, and hip power. He is projected to be a third round talent, which is nice. I don't see anything on that side. Let me look on this. Tampa 2 hybrid defense. He's 6'3", 299. Timothy Harrison, another run stopper. Let's look at him. B+, B-. Yeah, late four. He would fall. So if he falls, I mean, I'll take a pick on him if he falls. Defensive tackle. This guy, Tavarius Boone. Ooh, God, he looks good with that power moves, block setting, tackle. I mean, we might have to look at another middle linebacker. We might want to look at some guys on the outside. But I want to get what I have right now, the players I have right now, some play time. We did look at some before. I did look at these guys. I do like Gordon Scott. I do like Joey Moon. I can develop him. In the meantime, get another player. Let's really look at what we got here. 6'4", 6'5". He's 6'5", 247 on Wake Forest. He's a balanced type. Tyler Dunbar, projecting a 6th round. Impact block, catching traffic, run block. I mean, he would be a 4th corner, if that. It really just doesn't look like he's good at anything. Let's look at this point. We got 43. I'm again going to look at corners. Look at this one. Doesn't fit our scheme, but now at this point I'm going to look at good, some good colleges. So Tyrell Howell, 5'11", 192, out of USC. B+ zone, good press, good man, early first round talent. He would be someone I would go for. Here's one, Tennessee, 2nd round pick, Junior McNeil. Here's one out of Wisconsin. Yeah, he's a Tampa 2, Dario Bradley. This guy's a zone, so he would be in the... Ooh, a zone type guy with press. That's intriguing. I will definitely have to look at him more. And then Let's look at this one. Jermichael Thomas out of Stanford. He's 183. He's another zone guy, maybe. You're a run support. Yeah, let's look at the zone guy. Jermichael Thomas. Projected to be a late second rounder. And you come in as a B plus in zone, obviously, because you're a zone guy, so that's good. But that press, if his next one's a zone, ooh, that's intriguing. That's a slot guy all day long. So as we did some of our scouting there, we will look at the stats halfway through the season. So as of right now, the Lions, actually we'll go in the NFL, there is no undefeated teams right now. The Ravens are the best team in the league behind the Lions. Looking at it through division, Ravens are 2 games above the Bengals and the AFC North. Titans are 1 game above, but they just had their bye week, so they still need to play 1 more game. But they're in first. The Bills, wow, 4-3. They're wow. Patriots, I guess they lost one of their first games, as they've been on a 4-game winning streak. AFC West, Chargers have only dropped 1. It's like not week 7s, but week 6s they dropped. But they are out there. Broncos are struggling. We have yet to play them. The Raiders are 0-6. We've played the Chiefs. Going to the NFC North, the Lions are 5-2. We play the Lions this week. We've came off a bye, and they have not. As I feel like I'm about to sneeze, so if I pause really fast, meaning I'm sneezing, I'll spare you guys. So yeah, we've won 3 straight. The Lions have lost 1 the week before. The Packers have dropped their first 2 and have won 4 straight. The Vikings have dropped their 5 straight after winning their first game of the season against the 49ers, it looks like. Falcons are 5-2. Bucks are behind them at 4-2, and Saints are 4-3. That's a very close division. The Bucks started out 0-2, and they've been on a 4-game winning streak. Cowboys 4-2. Eagles behind them at 4-3. They still have to play each other, I believe. I don't think they have yet. Or if they have, they've played 1 game already. And then the Giants and the Redskins are at 3-4. And finally, in the NFC West, the Seahawks are 5-2, followed by the Rams are 2-4, 49ers are 2-5, and the Cardinals are 1-6. The Cardinals have dropped their 5 straight after beating us. They've dropped. Actually, that's their only win, beating us, the Bears. We'll look at the stats. So we're going to look at player stats. As of right now, we're going to look at the Bears. So we did have Jimmy Clausen come in for a little bit because Jay Cutler got knocked down and hurt. But Cutler right now, his rating is 104 with 1,700 yards, 16 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. He's had 1 4-interception game and another 3-interception game. So a lot of those interceptions are coming into 1 game. He's been sacked 12 times, 6.9 completion percentage, and his yards per game is 294. See there, Jimmy Clausen only has 1. Rushing 139 or 136 attempts by Matt Forte. Let's reorganize this. Jacques Rodgers at 51 for 249 yards. Forte has 617. Kendall Lang for the rookie, 10 rushes for 28 yards. Cutler, 7 rushes for 38 yards. Going on averages, besides Jeffrey's end around and Cutler's scrambling. Jacquez Rogers has a 4.9, a little bit better than Forte's 4.5. Langford has 2.8. In touchdowns, Rogers has 3. He's had 2 goal line touchdowns. Jeremy Langford has 2 goal line touchdowns, and then Matt Forte has 1 rushing touchdown. We've used Matt Forte a lot during the passing game. You'll see that in a minute. Per game, Forte buck 2. Jacquez Rogers 41 per game. Fumble wise, Cutler's fumbled 3 times. Matt Forte once. Jacquez Rogers is once. Broken tackles. Forte has 24 broken tackles and 144 yards after that first hit. So, looking at the receiving, and Matt Forte has our most receptions with 34, 411 yards. And then next, Alshon Jeffrey. He's been hurt once or twice this season. So 27 catches, 409 yards. Marquise Wilson, 18 catches, 274. Martellus Bennett, 17 for 214. Eddie Royal, 16, who's been banged up for 1 game before. And then Josh Bellamy is at 12. And we've had some here and there ones from there. So, touchdowns. Jeffrey's got 4. Forte has 3 receiving touchdowns. Wilson has 2. Eddie Worrell has 2. Langford has 2. Bellamy, Meredith, and Zach Miller all have 1. So we are definitely throwing the ball a lot this season. Definitely short throws and screens and things like that. That's why Forte has a lot more. So looking at the pancakes, Slauson has 7. Will Montgomery has 4. Kyle Long has 4 as well. DeCoos has 3. Bushrard has 2. Grasal came out for a little bit for some injury timeout for Montgomery. When it comes to Madden, you'll have some players that come out for some slight breathers and things like that, even on the offensive line. So we'll have that. Sacks given up. Kyle Long, in playing that right tackle position, has had a little bit of growing pains, but he's played good overall. A lot of these 2 sacks are probably the victim of Cutler holding the ball a little bit. And then Bushrard's had some issues with some players, especially Tamba Hali from the Chiefs. We still haven't played Von Miller and DeMarcus Ware. We still haven't played some of those big players coming out of the NFC West, playing the Rams still. So they'll play their front 7. We still have to play the Seattle's already, and they've victimized us a little bit. So we've had some sacks against us, but it's not too bad, actually. So defense, solo tackles, Adrian Amos, the rookie free safety, 24, just beasting it. Behind him, Shea and Christian Jones, the middle linebackers. Going to total tackles, again it's still Amos, 53 total tackles. Then Shea McClellan, 41, Christian Jones, 39, Antron Roll, 33. So really it's our 2 safeties and our middle linebackers, which means the run is not being stopped at our line, actually. Tackles for loss, that's still Shea and Pernell McPhee, the leaders there. Varine's come in a little bit in some packages and has had some good tackles for loss. Looking at sacks, Pernell McPhee's got 4, Jared Allen's got 3, Shea is 2.5, Jarvis Jenkins got 2, Will Sutton's got 2, Brock Varine's came on a couple blitzes, adding in there because he would be our, in some packages, when it comes to Vic's defense, the nickel or dime is sometimes the extra free safety. Not in real life, that's what it is, but it translates into Madden as what it is. In real life, it would be coming out of the actual corners. But Vereen has one. Jeremy Ratliff just started getting back into it after his 3-game suspension, has one. And Christian Jones has a half sack, probably that one shared with Shea McClellan. Interceptions. Pernell McPhee's got one that out of the last game, just coming up, snagging that ball in the air and starting it. And it's just a big blitz and disguising some zones and putting players in different positions and see what happens and confusing the offense. Amos has one. That was against the Packers. Roll has one. Kyle Fuller has one. Alan Ball, and then Tracy Porter. So going into fumbles forced, only Kyle Fuller has forced one, and that was the one that was taken up by... He only has one. That's weird. Antoine Roll took that one to the house. Alan Ball also has a fumble recovery. That was from a kickoff. That's why these fumble recovery things are messed up. It's from a muff punt. Somehow, if the player catches it and it doesn't hit the ground, your fumble return yard stats can get messed up. So don't even worry about that because that doesn't exist. Touchdowns, yes, Antoine Roll, the one he brought back off that Kyle Fuller forced fumble. Kicking, Robbie Gould, 12 for 12. He's been a good kicker. We'll see how long he stays with us as he only has 10 years in the league. Hopefully he stays longer. And Pat O'Donnell here has had 17 punts. Decent average for 41.9 yards. He's a second-year player. Got him in the draft last year as a 6th-round pick. And that has been that for kickoff return, though. After losing Sonoris Perry during camp, a simulated camp, technically was lost during real-life preseason, but after losing Sonoris Perry in the camp, and then also losing Marinelli in the preseason, in actually Madden, we have been forced to go with Cameron Meredith and Eddie Royal. 23.7 for Cameron Meredith, the undrafted rookie, a former quarterback out of Illinois State. And then Eddie Royal with 23 yards average. I mean, nothing big, but it's a gap that had to be filled. Punt return, Eddie Royal, same thing, 9.6. I don't think we've had any fair catches, but really we've been trying to do something there. So let's look at the entire NFL. Let's see, since we haven't drafted any rookies yet, so there's no rookies to be following. So we'll just look at this. We're not going to look at rating because you'll have a bunch of players. Actually, yeah, like Jimmy Clausen's right here. So we're going to go with yards. So yards, 2,200 yards for Matt Ryan. Looks like Drew Brees or Aaron Rodgers might have the best passer rating out of the starters. Let's go through here. Landry Jones is the starter. RG3 came in. Maybe he was injured at one point. Yep, Aaron Rodgers has the best as a prolonged starter. He has a rating of a $110. So yards, Matt Ryan leads that one. Going into touchdowns, Drew Brees leads that one. Followed closely behind Aaron Rodgers, 17. Interceptions, looks like Roethlisberger, Cutler, Matthew Stafford, Matt Barkley, which is probably why the Cardinals are having an issue because Carson Palmer went down in the game with us. And so Matt Barkley hasn't been doing all that great. Look at 75.6 rating. So that's probably why the Cardinals have dropped their last 5. And then Fitzpatrick from the Jets. So there could be a lot of picks in this game between Cutler and Stanford. We are playing our next game. I believe it's in Detroit. Sacks, Andrew Luck, Teddy Bridgewater, and Eli Manning have the most sacks. Completions, Matt Ryan. Completion percentage before we move on. That's going to be skewed. Here's per game. Aaron Rodgers is the best per game, 321 yards per game. That's the wrong one. Quickly, let's go through rushing. LaShawn McCoy has 152 carries for 748 yards. Carlos Hyde, 148. Jacko Spells, 148. Actually, I believe this is our second game against the Lions. We blitzed them heavily. Forte has 136. When it comes to rushing yards, it goes McCoy first set. Murray, we see Forte there is about 100 yards behind everyone. Rushing touchdowns. Le'Veon Bell with 11 and Robert Turbin on the Browns now with 10. And then D'Angelo, wow. They've been running the ball a lot in Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell's 11, and then D'Angelo Williams has 9. That is a lot of rushing touchdowns there in Pittsburgh. Fumbles, Carlos Hyde. What other ones we care about? Nothing there. Going to receiving. Most receptions, it is Julian Edelman, then Steve Smith Jr., the 14-year vet, or taking a 15-year vet, just putting it on. Then Keenan Allen, DeAndre Hopkins, Cooks, and White, and Allen Hurns. For yards, Steve Smith, Keenan Allen, and Brandon Cooks. We're just going to go with the top 3. Average per game, Edelman, Roddy White, Steve Smith. Not too much of a shock there. Touchdowns, Brandon Cook, DeAndre Hopkins, Steve Smith. That's, again, not too much of a shock. Looking at blocking, who has given up the most sacks in the league? Matt Khalil. Wow. Left tackle. 4th-year player. I did not see that coming. So defense. Preston Brown with 84 tackles. Then Lawrence Timmons, then Paul Plasnuzny. See who has the most sacks. Justin Houston has 11. J.J. Watt, 5th-year player, just putting it on there with 8.5. He's going to have a lot if he keeps on doing it. He might get close to 20 again. Julius Peppers got 7.5. Ryan Kerrigan's got 7.5. I mean, there's a lot of players out there. A lot of good linemen. Darnell Revis and Chance Casey, the 3-year player, still has, or having as many interceptions as Revis Island over here. Bobby Wagner and Jimmy Smith, and then James Ibadego. Ooh, that might be an issue. Devin McCourty, Bowman, and Monte Te'o. So let's see if there's any. Who has most forced fumbles? Devon Kennard, which he had one against us. He pulled it out of Matt Forte's hands there. And Preston Brown and David Hawthorne. Kuechly has the most fumble recoveries. See if there's any block kicks. No block kicks. No safeties. Defensive touchdowns. We have a lot with one. Captain Mutterland, Sean Golson, Marquise Huff, and Jason McCourty. So there's 2 out of Tennessee. Looking at kicking, I think we have one of the highest kickers in the league. Jordan Gay actually hasn't kicked that many, which is kind of strange and odd. Dan Carpenter's kicked the most. Most made has been Shane Graham. I mean, there's an issue with kickers because there's a lot of kicks that are actually being missed. And this might just be where Jordan Gray, they're just running the ball more and going for two more, which might be the issue there. All I care about is averages when it comes to here. Brandon Fields got the highest average in there, a 9-year vet or an 8-year vet. This is his 9th year. There's Steve Weatherford. There's Marquette King. So averages, care about averages here, really. Best average in the league kick returners. Craig Mager, a rookie from the Chargers. Then C.J. Spiller with 35. Roy Halou, Gilchrist, Anglor. So it's a lot of rookies. See if there's any touchdowns. Spiller's got 2. Manger's got 1. So we got to watch out for that. Gilchrist. McKinnon's got 1. DRC's turning kicks. All right. I guess that's a thing now. Punt return. Average. Eddie Royal's got the best average in the league somehow. Better than Percy Harvin. Touchdowns. Percy and Tavon Austin. So I'll do it for stats. We're going to go over to the awards, look at the 2 weeks we missed. So we missed week 7 because of the bye week. So Cam Newton, NFC offensive, 15 of 18, 221 with 2 passing yards, took 3 sacks and got 20 rushing yards. So 7 carries for 2 more touchdowns. So I mean, that's 28 points by himself. NFC or AFC offensive, let's just go down there. Jamal Charles. I mean, after this game today in real life, I hope Jamal Charles isn't out that long. The injury today looked pretty gruesome. Non-contact injury, so that's always a bad thing. I mean, hopefully he'll be all right and back on the field like Andre Ellington was a couple weeks ago when they thought the worst with him. But hopefully he's back on the field and is able to play for the Chiefs. But here, 16 carries, $161, 2 rushing touchdowns, and had 1 reception, which was a 6-yard touchdown. NFC defense, going over the defenses, Sean Lee, 8 tackles, 1 sack, 2 interceptions, and Sean Anderson for the Jets, 10 tackles and 3 sacks. Wow. I mean, he's coming up big for them. So really, that's really it. We're going to look at a couple things as well. So let's see what our total offensive standing is. I don't want to know at that point. So we're top 10 there. We're top 10 offensive. I'll see why. We're about middle of the pack there. We're 9th in rushing. So, I mean, our offense is about a 10 to 15 ranked team right now. Defense rise. We'll go least. We are the 5th best defense in the league. Passing wise, though, or about 10th. We're in between 10 and 15. Rush rise, we're the best rushing defense in the league. And that's because of our blitzing. Our blitzing has been absolutely crazy. Like, this isn't a victim of sliders. We haven't been able to put pressure on the quarterback with just our front 4 or even our front 3 or whatever we're putting out there. So we have committed at least 5 rushers at a time, which has clogged up that and allowed some of our secondary players to come down into the box and be that extra man that has no one blocking them. So we've gotten lucky there. Points wise, I mean, we've given up a couple points that were absolutely ridiculous. And we'll look at sacks. We probably don't have too many sacks. We have 17. We're in the middle of the pack, which we need to get it going. With fumbles, we are pretty much tied almost for last. Interceptions, the Vikings have the most. When it comes to interceptions, I have 6. So that's about 15th. So really we aren't doing much in here. We need to put more pressure on there. And that's why I'm going to look on dealing a couple trades. I want to get a couple more players out here. I want to get them some playing time. We're going to develop this team. The 2 players I'm going to look on trying to deal is Jared Allen and Jonathan Bostic, at least. That'll allow me to have Cornelius Washington, Sam Macho on one side, Lamar Houston, and McPhee on the other, with Willie Young coming in here and there. I have a lot of these players where I'm playing a lot for, and I need to get younger. Even though Jared Allen does have a lot of our sacks, some of these other players might possibly be the key to putting some more speed and aggressiveness on this field. And we sorely need that because the future of this defense is going to be built around Kyle Fuller, the corner. Tracy Porter is going to end up being on the other corner. Pernell McPhee, Shea McClellan, Christian Jones, and Adrian Amos. Like, that's what this defense is going to be built around. And Eddie Goldman. I mean, that line is pretty much solid right now. But thank you all for joining me. I'll show the trades possibly if I do them at the beginning of next game. I'll see what it is. I'll be realistic with it. It'll end up being like Jared Allen was realistically traded for a 6th-round pick, I think it was. So, I mean, Jared Allen, to me, if I was doing that, I would say it was at max a 5th and a 5th to a 7th. And like Bostic, I would say, again, a 6th to a 7th. Things like that. I'm not going to cheese the computer on it. Not going to do anything crazy. So thank you all for joining me in our Week 8 news after our bye week. And we actually take on the 1-5 Vikings, who actually have the most turnovers in the NFL right now. So I thought we were actually playing the Lions. We just played the Lions a little bit ago. So I will see you next time. Later.